All right, gang, we're talking about aromatic herbs today. Are you a fan? This is part of my spring fragrances top 10 spring notes video deep dive that I did a couple months ago. And I've pulled a section out of that video on aromatic herbs. And I'm talking about it here in this video edited, whereas the deep dive is not an edited video. This is an edited video for those of you that don't like to watch long format videos. But yes, we're talking about aromatic herbs today. I find them perfectly appropriate for spring, and you're going to want to watch and not miss out on this video of 10 aromatic herbs focused fragrances. I'm going to remind you about ScentFest SF as well. If you haven't yet gotten your tickets, I hope you do. It's linked in the info box. Please get your tickets and plan your trip to come to San Francisco to attend ScentFest SF, first of its kind fragrance fair happening on the west coast of the United States on the weekend of June 26, 27, and 28, and also around the same time as World Perfumery Congress, which is happening in Monterey, California, 2 hours south, a Business of Beauty Global Forum happening in Napa Valley, an hour north. So it's going to be a big concentration of beauty and fragrance business and people community here. And you guys don't want to miss out on this awesome show that I'm planning with amazing brands that you're going to discover new fragrances and have awesome fragrance related experiences at this show. So I hope to see you here. The info is at the link in the info box for ScentFest SF. Get your tickets right away and plan your trip. See you soon. Now let's talk about aromatic herbs. I do consider aromatic herbs to be a great note for spring. Everything starts blooming, popping from the ground, the fragrance. I mean, I went to Whole Foods a couple days ago to get some soup, and I walked by the plant section or the flower section, and all I could smell are the hyacinths. And when I smell hyacinths, I think of spring. Like literally, that is the smell of spring to me. Because when they put them out, I envision flowers blooming, spring taking over. And so when I smelled it, I was like, oh my God, I got to do a spring video. So this was earlier in the week because I was sick with the flu. And so at that time, I decided I got to do a deep dive for Saturday. What am I going to do? And of course, I couldn't make it for this Saturday, so better late than never today. But I consider aromatic herbs to be a great note for spring. But going back to the hyacinth, I do have a section of spring flowers here. And I think there might be one fragrance that features hyacinth. It's one of my most favorite smells in the world. For me, spring flowers are some of my favorites, especially when it comes to lily of the valley, hyacinth, and lilac. Love those smells. Anyway, let's get started with the aromatic herbs. First is Torino 21 from Xerjoff. By the way, I just aired another video shot on location in Cannes during TFWA with Sergio Momo, the founder of Xerjoff. But going back to Torino 21, it's their best Torino fragrance, I think. First and the best. What do you guys think? This to me is green and aromatic, lots of aromatics, but also gives me lemon tea vibe. Like when I was very young, my grandmother, my dad's mom, used to drink her tea with lemons in it. I personally can't stand lemon tea, but I kind of like the way it smells here. And it reminds me of that tea my grandmother used to have. Like tea that's boiled, the water boiled with the tea, like really super dense, and a big squeeze of lemon in it. So you've got the flavor, that hot water that's become tea with the tea that's in there. And then of course the intense amount of lemons. And then this also has the mint, and I believe there's basil, and there's also lemongrass in this. So it's super lemony. It's also super herbal. And I think it's a great offering for spring and summer. This is Xerjoff in the end, and their fragrances are long lasting. And this is also an eau de parfum, but it has great lingering power. But I'm also going to recommend another fragrance that's sort of similar. We've got Acqua di Parma's Buongiorno. I'm going to do a side by side here. Let's compare these two. When I first smelled this at Neiman Marcus, it did remind me of Torino 21. There's a reminder for sure. Not identical. Why am I getting apples from the Acqua di Parma? It's almost like taking Torino 21 and adding apples, green apples, but keeping the mint and everything else that's in Torino 21. That's what I'm getting the difference here. Otherwise, it's quite similar. Which do you guys prefer? Buongiorno from Acqua di Parma or Torino 21 from Xerjoff? There's an underlying earthiness with the Buongiorno in comparison to the Torino 21, but I'm getting apples. There's also a bit of musk with the Torino 21 that I don't get from the Buongiorno. Side by side, you'll notice differences. Not side by side, you'll be reminded of one another. I can't decide which I like more. Like when I smell the Buongiorno, when I'm reminded of that green drippy apple, the juicy apple, kind of gives me this like exciting kind of more energizing feeling. Also a bit more fun and playful. Yeah, they're both good. Which is your favorite? So is it Torino 21 or Buongiorno? Let me know, add a comment below. We are also talking about J.U.S's Icyfizz. You guys know this one? This is a very modern fougère. This is also tea, and it could have been in the tea video, but we've got aromatics and tea together here. It's also ice cold. That's why it's called Icyfizz. It's clean, it's aromatic for sure. It's a bit fougère-like. It's icy and a bit cozy with the tea. I think it has a tea note called Longjing tea. But if you like cooling fragrances, you've got to try that. And of course, also, if you like the idea of a fougère, very modern fougère. It doesn't remind me of classic fougères. It doesn't remind me of more modern fougères like Beau de Jour, things like that. This is a super, super modern smelling kind of style of fougère. But it's Icyfizz from J.U.S. Let me know your thoughts on that. Perfect, I think, for spring. Next, we're going to the house of Astier de Villatte. This is MANTES-LA-JOLIE. Wow, I can't believe how good this fragrance is. I think I'm going back to France here in April. It'll be my very first trip to Europe since visiting China in October and New York in November. I might stop into that store again, but if you like green fragrances, herbal fragrances, minty fragrances, basil forward fragrances, you've got to try this. This is so yummy. It's almost like a salad. Not a salad with the dressing, but imagine putting a bowl of ingredients for a salad, but all the vegetables and herbs rather than, you know, dressing it with the dressing. The smell of what's in the bowl before it's dressed, that's what it smells like. But you're making a salad not just with greens, but also with herbs. So it's kind of green and vegetable-y, or vegetal, I should say, and herbal and aromatic together. It's so good. So, so good. Makes me happy. And it's a total awesome spring fragrance. But this is Astier de Villatte. It's a ceramic brand. And they have an awesome store in Paris. If you ever make it, you've got to go to the Rue Saint-Honoré and go to their store. Not only check out their fragrances, but you also have to check out their ceramics because they're so amazing. Really pricey, really awesome stuff. But yeah, you've got to check them out because they're really, really great. And that's one of the best. I have two other fragrances from the house, two created by Dominique Ropion. I keep forgetting the name of the perfumer for MANTES-LA-JOLIE. But the other two are a bit more deeper. One's a violet iris. The other one's an amber. This one is like super spring and summer style. All right, next, going to the house of Rogue Perfumery, we've got Mousse Illuminee for the aromatic herbs or herbal section. We've got herbs in here, but we also have other aromatic notes. Like we've got oak moss. It's mossy for sure, but super aromatic and green. This is also very, very intense, like super concentrated. So if you, it's so good though, really great. There is a slight licorice-y touch here. It's almost like absinthe you've spritzed on a ton of Drakkar Noir in the 80s and you've stopped into a store to have, not a store, but a restaurant to have absinthe. So you're smelling the Drakkar Noir fougère-like notes together with this very fragrant absinthe that you're about to consume. That's what I get with this. So, so good though. We featured that in not a mystery box. We actually featured this in a regular Scent Club kit like this, going on almost 2 years ago. We do have a few more left of the sprayers of those. If you guys haven't ever tried Mousse Illuminee, definitely recommend you to try that one. This is Room 1015's Sweet Leaf. So I do have this one here that represents cannabis, and I consider cannabis to be an aromatic herbal kind of note. It's very camphor though, but very aromatic. Spicy, a bit bitter, very green, a bit pulpy, juicy in there as well. But the cannabis is so distinct, and I think maybe this was not a good recommendation because cannabis can be a bit polarizing. There's a certain kind of a smell with cannabis that reminds me of something a cross between oregano and another herb, which I can't remember the name of. Is it thyme or is it something like that? Like if you smell cannabis, it reminds me of several herbs combined together. And you get that here, like realistically, against citruses and pulpy ingredients. So that is a Sweet Leaf, great green color bottle. Let me know if you've tried that. But up next, Zoologist Perfumes Dodo, the Jackfruit edition. And this is in a recent kit number 16 for Scent Club. And when I spoke about this, I was surprised at how great this is because I didn't really care for the original Dodo, and I think this is the third version. What this perfumer did to this is really, really awesome. This is perfumer Yves Cazard. Green and tropical fruity take on fougère, barbershop-y fragrances. I like that a lot. In fact, I love it. So it's a bit old school, but also very modern at the same time. Like there's reminders of things like Bracken Man from Amouage, which is discontinued, Fougère Royale from Houbigant, Beau de Jour from Tom Ford, maybe a little bit of Sartorial from Penhaligon's. It does remind me of fragrances like that. I'm not saying it's identical because this has the jackfruit, which is a very fruity tropical ingredient, which does show up quite a bit, but it's swimming in that fougère DNA that I absolutely love. I grew up with fougères. I love fougères a lot. I don't just love gourmands, by the way, but I do love gourmands a lot too. All right, let's move on to Amouage. Speaking of Bracken Man, but I didn't feature Bracken Man. I am featuring Beach Hut Man for the fact that it's got an overdose of mint, but it also has the ivy note, which to me, it's one of the most original smells from Amouage. And Beach Hut Man is one of the most unique smells for me. Very original. I haven't smelled anything like this before or after. I love that. It's so unique. The ivy and mint combo together is so original. You know, I love Interlude Man, but Interlude Man is not very easy to wear. I think this is much easier to wear. It's so good. It's so, so good. Has the formula changed on this? Does anybody know? This stuff is so yummy. Ivy is a note that is not featured in fragrances a lot. There's an actual fragrance from Diptyque called Eau de Lierre, which focuses on the ivy. It's an eau de toilette, so it's not super strong. It's another fragrance that I really love, but I like this one a lot more because this is a lot more substantial. The Beach Hut Man and the combo with the mint. I love that. So good. So unique. But again, this is Amouage. It's a lot more potent. Some of the fragrances we were talking about from the last few fragrances, they are a lot stronger. So just be warned. But I'm assuming you guys don't have problems with wearing super strong fragrances for spring. But the last fragrance in the aromatic herbs category is a fragrance from Diptyque. This is Geranium Odorata. Probably one of the best geranium focused fragrances, I think. Just that it's an eau de toilette. It's not super strong or intense, but they're really paying tribute to the geranium here. That's good. So geranium, very interesting ingredient. It's an herb with flowers. Well, a lot of herbs do have flowers, but when you put your nose to this fragrance, just study it, like literally study it. Do you get mint from it? Do you get rose from it? Because the geranium has those nuances. Like you can pick up a little bit of rose from it. You can pick up a little bit mint from it. It's a minty kind of herbal rose. It's a rosy kind of minty, geranium-y kind of mint, I should say. But you get that here. And basically that's what you're smelling here. If you like fragrances like Rose and Queer, which I could have put here, but it's super strong compared to this. This is, I think, more spring appropriate. You get a little bit of the touches of that fragrance here, minus the fact that Rose and Queer settles to a leather. This is just aromatics and spices and woods. But again, a fine example of geranium fragrance. One of the best, I think. It's just sad that it's only an eau de toilette, but it's perfect when it's warm outside. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching that video. Let me know if you're a fan of aromatic herbs. Let me know if you're a fan of the fragrances featured in the video and what's missing. What would you add to the list? Do let me know. Do add a comment. And thanks so much for watching. As I said, if you have any questions or comments, list below. Otherwise, like this video and share it. That helps with the algorithm a lot. And then don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And clicking the bell icon will alert you for new and future videos every time I drop them. And that's it for today. Just don't forget ScentFest SF and stay tuned for another video soon. Bye-bye.